So the question is then do you need both? Do you need the harsh reality solid and the harsh reality pearl? CEO Ronald Hickler from Creating the Difference. Today we're going to talk about the 900 Global Harsh Reality Pearl, but we're also going to compare it to the 900 Global Harsh Reality Solid and give you a comparison between solids and pearls and how they're different. Anyway, we're going to focus on this ball right now, Harsh Reality Pearl. The cover stock is the Reserve Blend 902 Pearl. The hardness is 75. Finished with a reactive gloss. Now what's interesting is reactive gloss typically scans around 5,000, 5,500, but this ball scanned at 6,000. The oil absorption is fast. It features the Disturbance Asymmetric AI core. It's an asymmetrical ball, 2.48 RG, differential of 0.054, and mass bias of 0.019, which means it's a strong mass bias ball, it's a low RG ball, and a high differential, which is why it's a high performance bowling ball. The layout is 55 by 4.5 by 30, and we're going to find out exactly what the Harsh Reality Pearl does right now. All right, bowling on our standard house shot. See kind of how this ball rolls. Ooh, he's about to give me the messenger right from the rip. That would have been dope. That would have been dope. All right, all right, all right. No messenger. That's all right, that's all right. It was coming across. A little further left. Wipe your ball off every shot, man. Like, get the oil off your ball. If you don't get the oil off your ball, it just can mess up your reaction. So just wipe your ball off. I don't care if you don't use our products, but use something to wipe your ball off every shot. Okay, so not so far left. Come on. There we go. So square up a little bit to it. So that ball was definitely, it went a little longer than I thought, but not necessarily a bad thing, but it went longer than I thought. So I like to use this one, which is obviously our BAM Pro Pad. It doubles as a ball cup, but at least wipe your ball off every single shot to get the oil off, because if you don't, you can mess up your reaction, make your reaction inconsistent. Nobody likes that. So it's definitely on the angular side, right? Clean through the front, middle portion, and then more on the back end of the portion of the lane. So definitely falling into that angular category pretty quickly here. Yeah. Yeah, so, okay. You know, they're using their cover stock. They say that this 902 blend has bigger pores, which create faster oil absorption compared to the reality. And you say, well, what does that mean? So oil absorption is necessary for hook, one, and two, faster oil absorption really helps with continuation and also helps with your ball's ability to be able to repeat shots consistently too. So that matters. That matters. Get back, like that. So definitely an angular piece from them. I like seeing that where I can get it and it comes back. Let's throw a couple in the dark. I got that in just a little bit, but it's angular. So Missed it just a little bit, and it made the move down lane, so that's good. It's good to see. It's good to see that reaction. It's good to see. It feels like Storm kind of got away from that, and I don't know if that was intentional or not, but kind of seems like they got away from that, and it seems like they're migrating their way back toward getting some more of that good back end reaction that they're famous for, that they were famous for. Yeah, it's angular, man. It's a strong angular piece. Faux show. Now here's what's interesting about that particular shot. So clean, still made the move, struck, but it's actually the original that's been shined, not the ball that is the pearl. Going back to the pearl. Pearl, let's get the lights back on. I mean, we see what it is. It's angular. It gets down the lane, makes the move. I'm gonna grab the solid again now. Throw the solid like that, see what happens. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna throw the bowling balls kind of back and forth, and you kind of tell, or you kind of see if you can tell the difference between the pearl and the solid. So I'm just kind of going back and forth. You kind of see if you can tell the pearl from the solid and what the performance difference is. All right, so now we're gonna throw both balls back to back, except we're gonna use clutch to kind of validate that they're on the same line. I'm gonna throw the harsh reality pearl now. Money. Those are dead on top of each other. You can see that with the clutch data. Those shots are dead on top of each other. The reaction again, I mean, it's close, bro. Like it's close. So that's why it's important to understand what type of reaction you're looking for and knowing how to change your reaction. Now here's the other part that's kind of messed up. If both these balls are at whatever finish, and I bowl with them long enough, they're both gonna end up at 4,700, which we call stable. Once they get there, this is gonna be the type of reaction you're gonna get from the two bowling balls. So what that means is, if you've got the sanded one at 2,000, the shiny one at 6,000, but you bowl with them a lot, they're gonna get to 4,700, which now means you're gonna have this much difference between the two. So it's critical that you keep the surface on your bowling ball changed, separate, if you're trying to keep both these bowling balls in your bag. If you don't, you're gonna end up with two bowling balls, they look the exact same, they're this far apart. So you can see, that's another shot. Those shots are, all four of those shots are right on top of each other. And you can see there's a little bit of difference, right? I'm stone 8, stone 9, strike. With Pearl, I'm flush, a little high, little light, but flush with the solid. So they're not that far apart when they're at the same surface. And that's why it's critical that you keep them separate. Now we're gonna go ahead and change that surface to get the original harsh reality back to what it's supposed to be from the factory. So we now have brought the harsh reality solid back to 2000 grit. I'm just gonna go ahead and verify that really quick here. And we are good. Now, hold on, let me actually show you. Back to 2000. So you can see that's the reaction that we have on both balls when they're shiny. Now we brought this one, the original, back to kind of out of box at 2000 grit. Stronger. Let's throw it again. And that shot actually wasn't bad, but it was a little further left. A little further left. But even still, I mean, I still had more total hook, as you would expect. I mean, this is what you'd expect. Yeah, I mean, it's just gonna be more hook. That's what you'd expect. So, like I said, you say, do I need both? Well, two different reactions, two different surfaces, absolutely. If you're going for the same reaction, or if you're going for two different reactions but the same surface, or letting them get to 4700, that doesn't make any sense. You only need one or the other. I do believe that the Pearl is a little bit more angular than the original solid, but like I said, they're about this far apart. I mean, it's not drastic. And when they're at the same surface. Obviously, when their surfaces are different, like this case, now we're talking probably 3 boards. Let me make a 3-board adjustment and see what happens. Yeah, so about 3 boards apart, which is good. Now you've got 2 different shapes, 2 different reactions. Now you got something that's more usable. We're gonna do one more thing. Because you say, hey man, that's great. What if it's too much? What if I got too much ball now? So I'm gonna show you how you can rectify that too. Going to use a little bit of gloss actually. This is not actually a polish. I mean, the name says gloss, but it does not shine your ball. What this does is it actually reduces that oil absorption characteristic, which is going to make the ball immediately go a lot longer and be a lot smoother down lane. Remember I said oil absorption is necessary for hook, and it helps with the consistency of your reaction. Well, wiping your bowling ball with True Cut Gloss before competition, you can't do this while you're bowling, by the way, but before competition is going to really alter your ball reaction again, right? This is a way to alter your ball reaction. So if you're one of those guys that you're in there, I'm gonna put a little bit more on there. Sort of kind of let you see, it's kind of watery, right? It's not very thick, not like a polish. When you look at it, watch me apply it to the ball, it doesn't even leave a film or doesn't appear to make the ball shiny because that's not the intent of this product. But as you're getting ready to see here, it will change the reaction. All right. So we'll wipe any excess off with a nice clean towel. All right. Now remember, the ball surface is still this 2000 grit, but we put gloss over top of it. That's the difference here. We're gonna stay that 3 boards right as well. So that's the impact of gloss, right? You're gonna see it much cleaner, much smoother, because we've slowed down that oil absorption dramatically. You can kind of see, can you zoom in on that just a little bit? You might be able to see the oil actually kind of beat up. Yeah, you can see that. The oil's beating up on the ball. And that's what gloss is doing. So you say, is it like a wax? It's not really a wax either. It's a very unique product. But you can see, oh boy, trouble. Yes! I missed that. It was a terrible shot. It was a terrible shot. It doesn't even count. But it was kind of cool that I still struck. So let me throw it one more time. Once again, if you do this, it'll last 36 games. When you do it by hand, you do it on a ball spinner, it'll last longer. Just because it's easier to apply it, a little more even coverage that way too, obviously on a ball spinner. There we go, good shot. Good shot, much weaker reaction. And just because you may be wondering, okay, that's great. So you showed me the ball polished, you showed me the ball sanded, you put the gloss on the ball. What if I don't want that? What if I want my reaction like it was? Like I want my ball to go back to the way it was. So let's go grab our 2000 grit pad and quickly sand the ball, which will actually just take the gloss right off. And that's really one of the best parts of this product. Like you can actually literally, you can't do this while you're bowling, but if you were going to a bowl tournament and you got there with bowling balls that was 2000 grit dull and you're like, oh my goodness, it's too much hook, way too much hook, I need less hook. You could go gloss your ball in practice and then at least get through that block with something that would actually work for you. And then the next day you come back and you're like, oh man, they changed the pattern. Now all of a sudden my ball is hook enough. You could just sand it in practice and get your reaction back. So let's do that real quick. Now the ball's sanded again. I'm gonna stay where I was. And we back. So that's why really understanding surface is just so important, right? Surface of your bowling ball is gonna really dictate a lot of the performance of the bowling ball. I think Harsh Reality Pearl is a good bowling ball, longer, more angular. If it's me and I was like, and what would I do? So if I have both, I'm probably going to lean toward the new Pearl and keep that ball. And then if I need that reaction, I would just sand it. And you say, well, how do you know it's gonna roll good if you sand it? Let's find out. All right, last little test. I didn't even use any conditioner last time. I could at least do that. Conditioner, by the way, it'll make your pad last longer, keep the dust down, give you a more consistent cut as well. So now this is when everybody goes, no, you can't do that. You can't take the Pearl ball and sand it. Yes, you can. You absolutely can. And as a matter of fact, the ball companies do that too. If you go look at some of the bowling balls, there are Pearl bowling balls that the ball companies sand, and there are solid bowling balls that they polish. Like that whole, like, we can't Pearl, you know, Pearl is this, solid is that. That's not nearly as much as you think. Not nearly as much as you think. So now all I'm gonna do is just sand the Pearl down to 2000. And the reason why I think this will work is I think we're gonna see a similar performance now like we saw out of the Harsh Reality Solid. There we go, that looks better. Got to make sure it's nice and consistent. Per USB-C rules, by the way, you have to sand the entire ball, so. All right. Stay in the same spot. Good shot. Ring 7-pin. So the shape is definitely similar, but we did ring that 7-pin. I don't like leaving on ring 7 pins. We're gonna do that one more time. There you go. Harsh Reality Pearl. Get it from 900 Global. Go to our website, ctdbowling.com. Click 3 little lines. Go to bowling balls. Type in 900 Global. Get Harsh Reality Pearl. Pick it up. Get you a sanding pad for free. On behalf of Creating the Difference, I am CEO Ronald Hicklin. Talk to you guys soon.